Today we're talking to Sebastian Class from Neverland Vineyard in Rheingau, where he is producing Grauburgunder. Welcome, Sebastian.
Yes, good morning, Heine. Welcome to sunny Fendersheim, Rheingau. Yeah.
Beautiful. First of all, when most people think about Neverland, they think about Michael Jackson. Is he an inspiration for the winery?
I think we had the same inspiration when it comes to Neverland, because Neverland is the island of Peter Pan and Wendy Darling, and it's a novel by James Barrie from Scotland, and it's one of the most fantastic children books. And my brother and we took it as an inspiration of degrees of freedom in winemaking, and also in degrees of a little bit thinking over the borders, over the edge when it comes to winemaking and to cuvées and to working on the grapes. So I mean, we are here in the oak barrel cellar, and it's 9 a.m. So it's a perfect moment for a little quality check. So we have here just to.
It's important to have some good wine in the morning. It wakes you up.
Yeah, brings a smile to your face. So we have here also a newcomer. It's Sauvignon Blanc, fermented in oak, but not a very strong toasting. Yeah, it's getting there. It's refreshing. So I take you to the terrace.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can talk about Grauburgunder. Yeah.
So Heine, before we go to the terrace, I want to show you also some of our vineyards opposite of our house. You see the old shore, the old coast of the River Rhine, which was flowing here 60,000 years ago, and left a lot of soil, a lot of limestone, a lot of sediments, and also some nice slopes. You hear and see that the river is gone, but the wind is still here, so gives us a little bit of cooling down when it gets hotter and hotter in the summer. And everything is growing here with nice diversity, and you see here 23-year-old Cabernet Sauvignons, which just came out of their winter rest. I don't know if you, now it gets a little bit sharper. And from the soil you see that we work organic, so everything is mechanically what we do here on the ground. You have I also find a lot of stones which were underwater, which you see it's here, and you also see a lot of limestones, which are normally much more deeper underground, but some small parts also come to the higher areas of the vineyard. So this is one of our steepest vineyards. It goes further to the top of the hill and gives us nice Cabernet Sauvignons, which are getting more and more stronger with higher temperatures, definitely.
What you see here, I think this shows a little bit of the unlimited possibilities. So you see a very diverse landscape. You see different slopes, different soils, and we decided to do wines which tell a story, to show what the grape tastes like. And at the end of the day, it's about fun. It's about taste. It's about enjoyment. And when we come to Grauburgunder, this is a grape where you can work the easy way with a harvesting machine, or you can go our way, which is that we pick the grapes by hand selection. I'm always with the hand picking team in the vineyard in harvesting time, and we pick the grapes by taste. So of course they need a certain maturity, but afterwards we look on the taste of acidity. We look on the taste of ripeness. You can have a very green honey melon. You can have a lychee taste. You can have peaches. It all depends on the level of ripeness. And this is also part of the wine we will discuss later on. So in this wine, we talk about single vineyard. So it's one vineyard. It's 3 times harvesting by hand, and 5 different styles. So a good wine is not made in the cellar. A good wine is made all the year. So from January to harvesting time, and even after harvesting time, when it comes to decisions of timing in the cellar. But we normally do not much in the cellar. The most of the work is done in the vineyard. My brother and I, we like to drink also wines which have a lot of facets, which tell a story, which show you a little bit more than the grape and a little bit more than one dimension. I think that's also important. It sounds complicated, but it's if you have it on your palate, and I think you also have a couple of bottles sent to you to Bergen. It's interesting to see how the wine evolves in the glass. So it's a difference if you start the wine like out of the fridge and start drinking, and the wine gets warmer and warmer, and so this balance of 5 different styles, this balance changes. You get a little different facet, a little bit different taste every sip, and that's inspiring, and that's what I would call enjoyment and fun. Yeah.
Do you think that Rheinhessen is especially well suited for Grauburgunder?
Yes, I think it's perfect for Grauburgunder because we have soils which are at least in the north of Rheinhessen, we have soils which are very strong with limestone and chalk. So this gives Grauburgunder a more straight taste, like almost coming from our vineyards, tasting like a Riesling, like this strong limestone and minerality. I think it's a perfect match because you have the power and the acidity of a Riesling, and you have the Burgundy way of make it a little bit more comfortable to drink it. Yeah. You can have a lot of different styles. I mean, we have 4 different Grauburgunders which come from different vineyards, and it's a huge difference if you go to a southwest directed vineyard, or you go to a east directed vineyard where you have a higher minerality due to the little bit lower sunshine. Then you have 2 very different Grauburgunder, which shows the variety of this grape. It has a huge potential. However, there are also a lot of very one-dimensional Grauburgunder, and some people will also drink this, but the more fun is definitely if you have more facets, I think. Yeah, but that's the story of Grauburgunder at the end of the day. Yeah, you can make it really good. Yeah. And then we have Class A Grauburgunder, which is this one. You see on the label, it's the first Cessna who started by Clyde Cessna in 1913 in the Midwest in America. He was a pioneer when it comes to flying, and we also want to show pioneering in wine and here in Grauburgunder. So we work under the biological organic standards, and we harvest this vineyard. So we have two different vineyards. One is it's a limestone, and one it's a lime marl terroir. And we harvest these vineyards 3 times, all the time by tastes, like depending on the maturity of the grapes. And then we go further and take one part of the grapes and press it directly. So we have the freshness, the drinking power. Then we have 2 parts which rest a little bit on the skins, and we have 1 part which we ferment on the skins completely. So you get really the taste of the skins, the tannins, the power, the most powerful part of the grape. And we have 1 part which we ferment in oak to get a little bit more of oxidation, a little bit more of this oxidative topic, and then we leave them until bottling day. And before bottling, we go to these 5 barrels. We take samples. We taste all the barrels by themselves, and then we make a balance from high drinking flow and freshness to more oxidated levels. And the end result is a wine which changes by every sip. It's a huge difference if you take a white wine glass, or if you take, for example, Salto Universal or Salto Bordeaux or any other mouse-blown bigger glass. You will get to know much more about the wine, and I suggest a red wine glass or mouse blown universal or Bordeaux glass, so you can have the wine. Yeah, you can see the wine evolving in the glass, and you have much more fun if you much more enjoyment. And that's also why we do it. We don't do it to win a youth science prize. we want to have fun in the glass and on our plate, and also with dishes. It's also interesting to see which part get focused if you taste it with a tartare, or if you taste it with pasta or fish. It's changes. Yeah.
I see that you do quite a bit of references to popular culture, both with the Peter Pan and the Neverland, and with the Class A and the Cessna. Do you have any thoughts towards your wine as a part of popular culture as well?
That's a huge question. We could probably talk for weeks about this topic, but my brother and I, we come from an old wine family. So my ancestors, they all made wine, so we have it basically in our blood. For us, as the 13th generation, it was not enough to produce just the wine, just a Riesling, or just a one-dimensional wine. I think it's also part of our culture or our generation to express themselves, and you can see it in the startup scene. You can see it in the art scene, and you can also see it in in the wine scene, and we wanted to write our story by ourselves. That's why we did not choose our family name. So we choose our favorite children's story of Peter Pan and Wendy Darling, and already have like a much broader horizon. What is possible in Neverland Vineyards? It's a different perspective and a different degree of freedom. If you talk about Neverland Vineyards, or if you could talk about Class family wines, and a huge part of writing our story by ourselves is also how we perceive the world, how we get influenced, how we which is currently our favorite song, which movie is inspiring us, which so all this comes at the end to one wine. And I think that this is for us, it's a clear idea, but an open idea. And I think for wine drinker, or for people who drink our wine in Berlin or in Oslo, I think those people, they will have a different story in their head when they read Neverland, or when they read Class A or Femme Fatale. It's so and that's what I think is very important for us and for our wines, that people can have their own entertainment, and they are not bound to a certain script. They just can refer to their emotions and to their ideas and to their history, and yeah.
And I have to ask you as well, because I know that you make Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's not many people making Cabernet Sauvignon yet in Germany. Does it become very green in the style? Do you manage to get it mature? How is it in a structure?
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked. Yeah, because as we sitting here, I'm directly looking through our vinothek to our Cabernet vineyard, and I have it here also on the table. It's called Saint-Fendersheim, which is homage to Saint-Julien. And yeah, my father actually planted it 20 years ago. It's a direction south vineyard with a steep slope, so it's very hot. It's the hottest vineyard we have probably in our winery, and it was when I tasted the first Cabernets from 15 years ago or 10 years ago. They were quite green, so they were the first ideas of my father, and it's a grape which is normally harvested very at the end of the harvesting time, and needs a lot of sun, and it's getting there since 2017-18, when we have this higher temperatures and drier and hotter summers. The wines get to a level where they don't have this paprika and green and red stuff. It's getting to a point where you have oxidated what's the word? Brombeeren. It's in Germany. It's how good is your German? So it's oxidated, mature red fruits, and very interesting. And so Saint-Fendersheim is actually a little sidekick to the very strong limestone soils of Saint-Julien. Yeah, not similar, because we are much more north, but in a way you can compare it. Yeah, but we are at the beginning, I would say.
Talking about drinking your wine different places, are you represented anywhere outside of Germany, or is Germany your main market?
So far, we are only represented in Germany. We won a couple of years ago. We won a tender in Norway, actually, with a Riesling. But mainly we are focused on Germany, because we don't have the manpower to travel all the time. So we travel a little bit. But I think that our idea of wines and our idea of labels and taste is definitely an idea which is also perceived in Oslo, as well in Paris, as well as in New York. I think that's an idea of not only our generation, but also on people who are looking for not the 1000 Riesling, but they are looking for something which is unique and something which is good and something which is enjoyment and fun on a high level, and which is organic. Yeah. I think that's the idea and the taste profile in a nutshell. And I think that's our USP and our part that we can play. It's definitely something which works also outside of Germany. However, it's a lot of work to work in the German market. So we still have a little bit here to do, and in the next years we will definitely also with this video and interview to start stronger in the Nordic markets and to start stronger abroad. Yeah, definitely.
Good luck with that, Sebastian Class of Neverland Vineyards.
Ja, vi kan ikke tro at det bare meg som først og fremst tenker på denne store eiendommen til Michael Jackson når jeg hører Neverland. Neverland Vineyards heter også produsenten her, og produsenten selv sier jo at det tatt fra Peter Pan-eventyr og Neverland der, som også en veldig flott historie. Det sier også litt om hvordan de tenker når de også har en Chestnut på etiketten, og veldig opptatt av å binde opp noe av dette her populærkulturelle. Vinen vi skal smake heter Class A Grauburgunder from Kalkmergel, og den medium intens på farge, den ren, og på duft. På duft så lukter den av sitron, den lukter litt steinknuseverk, sitronskall, lett sånn tone av honning, og den lukter ganske friskt. Og det verdt å få med seg når man har smakt en del Grauburgunder, der man ofte får litt sånn tyngre, litt mer noen ganger eikepreget og litt sånn tunge viner, så dette en vin som frisk i uttrykket. På smak. På smak så det en medium mot medium pluss syre, det en medium pluss fylde. Vinen tørr. Og den har et ganske syrlig anslag og et fruktig midtparti, og så har den en litt sånn lett tørrende avslutning som steinaktig, eller mineralsk om du vil, og også en ganske saltaktig ettersmak som ganske imponerende egentlig for denne typen viner, en seriøs vin fra Produsenten. Og dette en vin som går an å drikke alene, i motsetning til hvordan jeg i alle fall opplever en god del Grauburgundere, men også en helt superb matvin selvfølgelig, og ville nok blitt et velkommen tillegg på mange vinpakker rundt om i Norge.